What's going on, Thrill Billies? And I love back here. Another vlog for you guys today. It's a little bit of an update video for you guys today because there's been, not everybody knows, but there's been a couple people online that have kind of found out what was going on with my personal life, and they were asking online, you know, and I just wanted to give some clarification to the whole situation and basically give an update on what's going on. So last Saturday something happened with my puppy Banjo here, as you can see right now. He doesn't look too hot, so I kind of want to just update you guys on that and everything that's been going on. The reason why a lot of people know about it is because when I was at the vet with Banjo, the emergency vet, while he was getting worked on, there were some fans that came up and stuff like that, and you know, I wasn't in the best of state, obviously. You know, I was with my mom and Miss Outlaw, and some fans came up and stuff, and you know, I think they knew something was wrong, but they still wanted to meet me and stuff like that, which, you know, is fine. But you know, in that situation, from my point of view, I just didn't want to talk to anybody, obviously, you know. So those kids came up and stuff, and they could tell something was wrong just by their voices, but my mom was like, hey guys, not a good time, please, you know, leave and stuff like that. And they were like, hey, you know, obviously we think something's going on with Banjo, we hope everything's cool, we heard about a seizure and stuff, we just hope everything's all right. And I just basically said thank you. And then I think, you know, it's just some people kind of found out that way or whatever, but I just wanted to give you guys basically an update on everything that's going on with Banjo and just give all clarification to everything that happened. So as you can see, my old buddy here, you guys know this is my dog Banjo. He's a border collie. He's 4 years old. Him and I have the same exact birthday, May 25th. So got him when he was 6 weeks old, and this dog has been with me through everything. Huh, buddy? He's a little sedated right now. He's on his pain medication. You okay, Bubba? Oh, he's tired. So what happened is, obviously some of you guys know, I know, buddy, you don't like the cone. I know. He's got a cone on because he can't be licking and biting at his little holes in his body. So the deal is he, I know, Bubba. Give me kisses. Good boy. I was living in Kentucky when I got him. During that time, I didn't have really any friends. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have my family around, anything like that. I was basically just living in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, hunting and fishing every day, and was, you know, kind of lonely, right? So, you know, I wanted to get a dog, and I got Banjo, bro, after my other pup passed away. So I got Banjo, and this dude has been like, you know, my best friend and been with me through, you know, a lot of crap. And he just went everywhere with me. He's like my ride or die buddy, you know. Just, I know there's a lot of people that don't understand, you know, dog and owner relationships. Let me grab my jug real quick. And but like this dude, you know, I grew up with dogs and stuff like that, and I was never, you know, the attachment that this dude and I have is just insane, man. Just how sweet he is, how smart he is, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, but I'm sure some of you guys understand. So about a month ago, he had a really bad seizure in the middle of the night. He likes to sleep up in my room behind one of my chairs, and he puts his feet on the wall, and kind of every time he moves, you know, he scratches the wall and stuff like that. In the middle of the night, he had a bad seizure, and I just heard scratching on the wall, just this violently for a minute straight, and I thought he was having a bad dream or something, and I like woke up and I was like, what's wrong, dude? And you know, found out he was foaming from the mouth, he was having a seizure. I pulled him away so he wouldn't hurt himself, got him checked out, got his blood work done and everything after the seizure was over, and everything was fine, right? He's only 4 years old, so it was very weird that he had such a long seizure as well. It was like almost 3 minutes long from what I remember. So, you know, it was kind of hard to imagine what the problem was. So that was a month ago. We got the blood work done. Nothing came of it. He was fine from there on out. This past Saturday, I was sitting here at the desk, and Brola and I were ready to get a video up and everything. I was just here, him and my other dog, Luna. She's not here right now, obviously, because he can't be all rough and rowdy. And he was sitting by the door, and he was breathing very weird. Like he couldn't really breathe in. It was like he was trying to breathe in, but he couldn't. And I was like thinking it was really hot that day. I was thinking maybe he's just really hot, and you know, he always likes to lay over the air vents and everything. So I was kind of just I don't know, it's just kind of weird, right? At that point, I was checking him out and everything like that, and I was feeling his body and everything was looking really weird. Every time he would breathe, he would shake, and obviously didn't think it was good by any means. So called the emergency vet and said, hey, I need to get my dog Banjo in. He's not breathing right and everything. And so I take him in there, like, oh yeah, we'll see him. Take him in there, and they just automatically knew something was wrong. They took him to the back, and I go in the room. At this point, my girlfriend Stephanie shows up, and we're just sitting in the room kind of waiting to hear, and I'm kind of, obviously nervous, but I'm not thinking it's anything crazy because, nothing happened. He just was just laying around, right? The lady comes back in, and she just like, was he hit by a car? Like, what's going on? Like, was he hit by a car? Did somebody kick him? Did somebody like punch him? Or I was like, what? Like, no, wasn't hit by a car or anything like that. Like, no. And apparently what happened was he was holding air in between his lungs and his chest cavity. So he had air in his chest, and it wasn't allowing his lungs to expand. So that's why he really couldn't breathe on his own. There was so much air in his chest that he just wasn't able to breathe. So she was like, oh, well, we've dealt with this before with huskies and golden retrievers. They call it a pneumothorax. Pneumothorax, I think is what it's called. And a lot of huskies and golden retrievers and stuff get it. And they said that he had it. So what they do is they basically stick a needle or something to basically get that air out of their chest. They stick a needle down in their chest and stuff like that to get all that air out. Me being back in that room and then hearing him like screaming at that point, it just freaked me out, and obviously I just broke down. I'm like super, I never cry about anything, and I've had a lot of crazy stuff happen in my life the past couple months, and that's never been a problem. But with this dude, I was a mess, man. I felt like a teenage girl or something, just bawling my freaking eyes out, and I just didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't want anything bad happen. I just told him, I said, do whatever you can to get him to be stable and everything. So they basically went into his chest and was pulling all that air out. And once they pulled a lot of air out, they said that it's still coming out. The air is not going away, which obviously is not a good thing. And immediately they said, listen, this is going to be very expensive. We need to put tubes in into his chest and keep feeding air to him so he can breathe. So that is, I don't know if you can see over here, but Banjo is shaved on both sides, and I don't want to move him too much because he's tired, but you can see this little stitch right here. This is a staple, and they just put these two little tubes in each side of his body here, feeding into his where his lungs are and everything, to feed air into him from both sides. And it took like an hour for each tube to get put in. It was very hard for them to get it in the right spot and not hit anything bad. Putting him on IVs and stuff. As you can see, he's got these he's shaved right here and on his back, feet, and here, trying to find a vein so they can IV him. It was a very bad deal, especially for me. I was just like wanting him to not be in pain and be okay. So they got the tubes in and everything like that, and then they're basically saying they want to go in and do a CT scan, and where they did an X-ray, and they weren't able to see everything, so they needed to do a CT scan, which is obviously very expensive as well. But they needed to put him to sleep for it. So they did that. I basically had to go home because they said it was going to take like 3 hours for me to hear back from the CT scan, and obviously I couldn't be there when he was being put to sleep. So I'm at home just freaking out. And another bad thing was I had to go to New York the next day. I just got back from New York yesterday, and I had to go to New York, and I'm like, I'm canceling the trip. Like, I'm not going to New York. Like, I'm staying with my pup. I'm just making sure he's good and everything. Well, it wasn't 3 hours. It was actually 10 hours. We waited for the radiologist or whatever to get back to us on what exactly was wrong. They were thinking that one of his lungs or both of his lungs had what they call Ebola. It's basically a spot on their lung. It's almost acts as like what a tumor does, kind of. They were saying there's a possibility that there's a tumor, that he has cancer or something, but it's not likely because he's only 4. So there was a lot of things on the table, and I was just praying the whole time that nothing was going to come back, because I didn't want him to have surgery, obviously, because chest surgery on a dog is one of the worst things that you can have. And it's a long recovery time, very long. Well, the next morning I get a call at like 5 a.m. and I freaking wake up and I'm like, I couldn't even sleep like the whole night. I was sleeping so just, you know how it is. I get the call. I have a long conversation with the doctor, and they found nothing on his lung. Basically, there was nothing that was gonna basically just like collapse one of his lungs or anything like that. They don't know exactly why he had the pneumothorax, why he had all that air in there. There was a couple things that was coming to my mind. He was never hit by a car. I'm always watching him. He's always, by my side and everything. The only thing I could think was two things. One is him and Luna go at it like crazy, and they just play very violently with each other. And Luna's always jumping all over him and stuff, and sometimes she jumps off the bed onto him and stuff like that. So I was thinking possibly maybe she caught him by surprise, and that's what did it. The other thing was maybe him jumping up into my trucks or something like that. Maybe he hit his chest one of the times doing that, and that's what I was like, well, those are the only two things that I could really come up with, So once the doctor told me nothing was wrong with his lungs, but they don't know why this happened, so they still got to do some tests and everything, and they had to keep the tubes in him. So I said, okay, well, I'm coming down there right now, because I was supposed to leave like in 3 hours for New York, and I'm basically like, I had the ticket ready. I didn't cancel yet, but I was like, just in case he was fine and everything. I go to the vet, and I'm like, listen, man, I'm not planning on going to New York. I want to stay with him. And he's like, listen, man, don't worry. There's nothing that's going to happen to him I was only in New York for 2 days, basically a day and a half. And he's like, there's nothing that's going to happen to him. He's under our constant view. He was going to be there anyways for 3 to 5 days on them watching him and everything like that with the tubes in him. So everything was going to be fine. So I hated having to go to New York, but it was a very important business trip that I had to do. And the whole time I'm on the phone with the vet just trying to see, and they're like, he's doing better, he's doing good, he's eating, he's breathing a lot better, he's not having to use the machine that they had in him, and he wasn't, no more air was coming out of his chest or anything like that. So I was just hearing nothing but good news, and that was making me excited, but obviously I wanted to be back with my baby, And so I get back last night. I had the worst travel day I've ever had. Coming back from New York, I had a direct flight back to Denver, and the weather was horrible in New York, so we had to go through friggin' Canada. It was a 6.5 hour flight, and it was only supposed to be a 3.5 hour flight. And then when we get to the airport, the freaking the walkway thing that connects to the plane so you can get off broke, so we were stuck on the plane for another hour. Miss Outlaw was waiting for me for like 3 hours, and I was just, basically trying to I just wanted to go see my pup and bring him home, because they gave me clearance to bring him home, but he needs to stay calm, and obviously he's a border collie and he doesn't want to stay calm. He wants to play with bones, he wants to play fetch, he wants to chase rabbits and all this stuff. So I brought him home last night. Him and I slept together. I left Luna at my mom's house, and he's doing a lot better, but it's basically just keeping an eye on him. Got to check up in the next couple days to get his staples out of his sides, and to do another x-ray and make sure everything is good. We might have to do another CT scan just to make sure nothing is has happened with the lungs. So it's just been a crazy few days, and I knew there was a few people out there that was asking on social media, so I just wanted to do this as an update. And I've been a mess, and finally I'm back now with my pup. I'm keeping it that way and for a while, and just making sure everything stays good with him. Now Banjo's looking like a walking mohawk with the sides shaved and everything, so we're just hoping that everything stays good and he stays breathing good, and that's all we're hoping for. So we just gave him some more pain medication. He can't, it's really hard for him to lay down, so that's why I've got his bed down here, because he needs something soft. But when I saw that he couldn't lay down like anywhere, even here, I gave him this pain medication, and he's sleeping good now. So the cone's obviously on here so he doesn't lick his sutures and get those staples out of there. He likes to lick and itch everything, so just trying to keep him good and keep him happy, and hopefully he stays breathing okay and everything stays good. So, oh man, he's only 4, dude. I just need him to stay healthy, dude. That's all I'm asking, and that's all I'm praying for. So, man, just keep praying for Banjo, guys. I know you guys love him as much as I do, man. He's such a good dog. He's been in the vidges forever, and we obviously want to keep it that way. So I'm doing anything in my power to keep him still here with us. So he's been such a good boy. He deserves it. But I want to let him sleep, because he's finally taking a nap. It's just been kind of funny seeing him right when he gets home. He just wants to play and everything like that, and me just trying to keep him stable and not getting his breath up there too much or whatever. That's just what I've been trying to do. So it's hard to freaking talk about too. But we got him on a lot of medication. So he's gonna be on that for the next 5 or 6 days. And then hopefully everything will work itself out and his hair will start growing back and everything will be back to normal. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for. I hope you guys are there with him because he needs your guys' help for sure. So just wanted to update you guys on that, man. I know this is on Live the Thrill. This is something I usually post on Outlaw, but I know this is kind of more like a vlog style and updating you guys, so I wanted to put it over here. Thank you guys for the support and staying with me through all that. I didn't upload a video for a while just because of that. So, but when I was gone in New York, we got a bunch of boxes and stuff for the trucks. So we're gonna be doing a lot of truck videos coming here soon, starting the next couple days. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I know the truck videos, you guys love those sons of dicks, so we're gonna keep pushing those out for you and doing some stuff on the boat, doing some more fishing, hunting, all that kind of stuff. So make sure to subscribe, become a Thrill Billy today. We got a lot of exciting stuff for you guys coming down the road, and a lot of that had to do with me going to New York, so super excited, man. Well, I know I've been rambling. How long have we been going, brother?
20 minutes.
Oh my gosh. I just wanted to get all that out there just to update you guys. And I will keep you updated in all the videos. Follow me on social media. All that stuff is in the description box below. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You guys can follow me on there and I'll keep you guys updated on there as well. So love you guys, man. It's been a hard couple days, but we're going to keep cracking away, buddy. Hashtag pray for Banjo. We're going to keep him here with us for sure. And we're hoping he gets better every day. So, in honor of Banjo and what he does every day, always remember, no matter what you're doing, live to thrill. Oh, y'all.